Okay, everyone, it is Thursday night, our team call for the Ripcore Rockstars and all the other teams that make up our awesome team. And tonight, for our training, we have Leslie, she was a guest speaker on our Upline Teams call earlier this week. And so if you haven't caught that, you can catch that. But tonight, she's going to be sharing with you how to share your story and really what has propelled her to the success that she's had in her business. In just 2 years, Leslie, you've been a coach?
Mm-hmm.
And she's consistently hitting Success Club 10 or more. And it's all because she shares her story. She shares it well, she shares it often, and she shares it unapologetically. And that's what really has created the success in her business. So couldn't have anyone more perfect for this call. So Leslie, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Oh, wow. Well, thanks, Tammy. That was really nice. And I like the way you said that. I do share unapologetically, because when you're being yourself, you shouldn't have to apologize for that. Just be you guys. And I'm honestly, when I go through this whole thing, that is the main thing, is just be true to you the whole time. I think when we start out and we're new, we try to be whatever each of our, what our upline is, what Melanie Mitro is, you look towards these top coaches and you're thinking, well, if they're doing it this way, I need to do that. And then you kind of lose sight of who you are. So don't be apologetic. And the other thing is, don't be ashamed of your story, because it's going to inspire others. And I think that's another thing, that your story is yours. Don't be ashamed of it. It's part of your life. It's part of who you are. When I look back at things, there's things that I would rather not share, talk about, maybe remember, rehash or whatever, but it's all what makes me who I am. I'm a 53-year-old divorced mother, remarried, have 4 grandkids, 2 dogs, big house, cars, bills, problems, struggled with my weight my whole life. List of things like that go on and on, but that makes your story, that makes who you are. And that's going to give you the connections that you're going to find with other people. So long as you're out there, and I got to say this, when you share your stories, that you have to share your story with somebody. Who are you sharing it with? If you're not expanding your friends list, if Facebook is your thing, then you're sharing the same story with the same people over and over and over and over again. So you have to expand. If you started your coaching business with, say, 150 people and you're 2 years into it and you only have 500 people on your friends, you need to expand that. You need to look at that and try to do that. So that's my thing on friends. I always have to say that, because it's important to keep expanding your network, especially if you're just on Facebook. And that's really where I run most of my business, outside of face-to-face stuff at school, at sporting events and such. So moving on, I do only have notes. No slides, none of that stuff, because guess what? I'm being me. So if it's something you're working through, sharing your challenge will not only help you, but it's going to help someone else with their with the same thing that they're going through. So right now I'm going through the fact that my poor dog is in cardiac arrest, and she's only 6 years old, and God knows how long we're going to have her. It was a shock. So I shared that. That's part of my posts, because that's my life. That's what's going on. So maybe someone else, and my God, it's ridiculous. You see, I have so many friends right now. They've got dogs with issues. They're our pets. They're our family members. So I shared that, and the overwhelming responses that you get from that. Not that I'm looking to sell challenge packs from that, but you're really developing friendships and relationships, and you're going to personal message these people back. That's what I'm doing. They've been so kind. So I'm going to send them a message back, and that actually opens a door for God knows when. Maybe we'll have something where they'll like a fitness post of mine, or they'll like a transformation post of mine. So then I can, that door has, kind of been opened. So we'll be able to, revisit that. Another thing is sharing your struggles. Now, as I was writing that, share your struggles, we're in the health and fitness business. So we really need to be sharing about our struggles with were you overweight your whole life? Have you always struggled with that? Were you just so thin, you've never been able to gain any weight or muscle, or, you've always wanted to have a toned body and never been able to do it because you just have said, well, I'm just skinny. That's all there is to it. Or I'm just big boned. I'm always going to be heavy. And they're the things that we say to ourselves. Are you an emotional eater? Do you, eat at night? Do you go and sneak food? Do you hide food in your car? Are you that person that goes through the drive-through? Do you not eat? That's another big thing. Here we are, we're trying to share the fact that we're healthy and fit, but maybe on the other side, you're not eating because you feel like you have to maintain that body because you're here sharing on Facebook as a top coach. Who knows what those people are doing, but that's something you need to share. So that's another part of your story that you can share that people can definitely relate to. Are you a binge eater? What I shared today is that I just put the post up, and I don't know how great it is because I was kind of doing, getting prepared for tonight's call as well. But I just spoke about the fact that, with Cleo sick, the old me would have totally just gone crazy and eaten whatever. I would have not gotten up this morning and worked out for sure. And I would have probably sat down and I said with a bowl of cereal, yes, because that was my thing. It would have been me and Captain Crunch sitting down and eating a bowl of cereal, getting rid of my sorrows that way. And, being an emotional eater, so many people struggle with that, the fact that they started a program and it hasn't worked. And why didn't it work? Well, because they didn't follow the program kind of thing. So these are the parts of your story that you need to share. You may not always want to because maybe it's embarrassing or, there's pain associated with that, when we share about our family members. And that's something you have to be careful about. I have teenage kids, so I'm very careful with what I share. And I also have adult children as well. So when it comes to about sharing about their father, my ex-husband, it's kind of tough because it's still their dad. So I always try to do that in a respectful way, but also still be able to convey my story and be it pain attached to it or, joy because, granted he was a jackass, I still have, 3 beautiful children because of him. But that's about the only good that came out of him. But, I do have that. So that's important to share that. And also the other thing is that we need to share is we need to share our triumphs. So that's a big thing. We've had success. Do share my before and afters. And I think we should share that. We should be, you want other people to see that where they can go and, that they can change their habits if they were that emotional eater, because I was all those things and I was able to flip the switch and, get success out of this. So I share my before and afters. Other triumphs are our children. If your children allow you to share those special moments with them, the younger ones, of course, we can kind of do what we want. And it's kind of nice that you can share those moments, be it you're out on the soccer field with them. You can share how you handle that. You're out at a sporting event, you're out at a tournament for the weekend, maybe. How do you plan for that? How do you plan your meals for that while you're out all day? You are away for a whole weekend, so you have to go away and you have to say, well, I'm on a program that I really have to follow this, but I have to eat out every meal. So share how you do that. So that's kind of what I do because I do that with the kids with basketball tournaments and I am away. So I have been able to be successful. So it's important that we share that because that's the number one excuse people have. Well, I'm on vacation, so I can't follow this program. I have to be away with my kids. I can't follow a program. Amanda was just away in Jamaica on a vacation celebrating her anniversary. She was still able to stick to things the best she could. Maybe she did all the way, maybe she didn't, but she shared her story. She shared the fact that, yes, maybe it was a struggle here and there. She shared her Shakeology because she was smart enough to pack that and bring that along with her. I have so many people, they'll say, oh, well, I'm on vacation or I was on vacation and I didn't I couldn't drink my shake. Well, why couldn't you? Oh, I didn't bring it. Well, why wouldn't you bring it? Isn't that part of your daily regimen? Isn't that something that you do to take care of yourself every day? Today, I had my picture today in my, on the app group was a picture of my bottle of water and a packet of Shakeology, because I always keep a couple packs in my car, in my purse, that I always have that just in case. And those just in cases are so that you just don't accidentally go through the drive-through. You have that. So it's important that you share that, you know, how you prepare. And of course, nothing is in any kind of order in my list here. And just let me quickly purchase it, maybe because of the business and otherwise may have. Be yourself. That's how I started this thing, is just to be yourself. Don't be apologetic. And the reason for that is people are going to see right through that. If you are consistent with posting 3 to 5 times a day, it's part of, I hate to say, you know, I was talking to Tammy earlier, kind of the rules. There are no rules. This is your own business. But I do better when I have rules and guidelines to follow. So give me that. I'm pretty good. I can follow them. Kind of like I'm doing the Ultimate Reset right now. Give me that book. I can read through and I can follow the plan. Well, it's the same thing goes for this. So be yourself and share 3 to 5 times a day. And when you do that, people are going to see the real you. You know, they're gonna know that you are exactly who they want to sign up with. People that sign up with me or may not necessarily want to sign up with someone else, and vice versa, because, you know, I'm that 53-year-old. I have a hard time signing younger girls up in their 20s because they don't relate, and I don't really relate to them anymore. Other than the fact that, yes, I think as you get older, it is a little easier because we've been there, done that. So I do have that. I have to think about that one. So I'm not going to discount those 20-something-year-olds anymore, because, yeah, I was 20 at one time, long time ago. So again, back to that posting 3 to 5 times a day. When I do that, it's all related to my life in some way. My children, my pets, my home, my workouts, the meals that I've eaten, just my life in general. And again, like Tammy says, I'm unapologetic about it. That's who I am. If I drop the F-bomb, I try not to, but it's happened, you know. The dogs have come in during a thing and I've, you know, whoa, damn, did that actually record? So that's happened, and I am the real me. I do my videos. I video my workouts every day, 5:30 a.m. My hair's a wreck. But I have the convenience, and it's nice to share that we do our workouts at home. We don't have to get dressed up to go drive to the gym and go out anywhere. So share the fact of that. You know, those are all the important parts of your life that you need to share. Take pictures of your meals, whether you want to post it or not. It's just nice to have it. You have something to share later. You know, I take pictures of everything because I never know if something's going to hit me later that, oh, perfect. Great post idea. I'm glad I have those pictures. Again, with doing the Ultimate Reset right now, I've been taking pictures of breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and putting them all together, and I'm posting them on my like page so people can follow that journey. I'm also doing over there a live video every day. Hopefully I'm going to stick to this. It's day 4. I've been consistent. I've gotten all 4 in so far, and I still have to post the meals for today. But people want to see that. They, you know, they want to know what you're doing, what you're eating. How did you get like that? How do you look the way you do? You know, and they want to know if you're struggling. So don't fake it. You know, if you're struggling, share that. Because people need to see that, because it's not easy. You have to think back, if you were in this, if you did get into Beachbody to lose weight, think about when you were heavier before you lost the weight and the struggles you went through, not where you're at now, because you know what, it gets easier. It definitely gets easier. We know what to do. We, you know, it's kind of like you don't even have to think about it. And the other thing is, next thing is that we all have stories to tell. And we don't need to tell it all at once. It's very important to breadcrumb things. It's like that suspense show, you know, that show you're watching. You're going to come back every week for that next episode. You know, nowadays you don't get those cliffhangers because, you know, you could wait and watch the whole thing on Netflix. You can watch a whole series. So it's very important that you just give them little bits and pieces. And like I said, people are going to come back. You know, they're following you, they're watching you, and you can tell by when you put a certain post up that that they're seeing your post. So like perfect example is today, you know, putting posts up about Cleo. People that I didn't even remember that I was friends with are responding, and they're messaging, and they're putting comments in there. So that's the way you get people to follow you. You know, you can see that those people that are hiding in the background, but you know, if they're seeing that post about your dog, they're likely seeing the post about, you know, that you're putting up about your health and fitness if you put a video up or whatnot. This is something interesting that I just found on here. And it said I was looking for some ideas, and it said, when writing your story, don't let someone else hold the pen. So, I mean, you can take that in different ways, but I just thought, so I don't like to let somebody else's thoughts or judgments of me decide what I'm going to write. Because if I do, I'm not being authentic. I'm not being myself. So try and follow that 5-second rule. I've just started listening to that and kind of go with that. You know, when you have that idea, just type it out and just go with it. Because if it was in your heart, you have to follow your instincts. You had those thoughts, you had those feelings, and, you know, you had a reason behind it. And what's next is, your story is unique to you, your brand and your message, and the way you want to convey it. So again, that still comes back to just you being yourself. And just when I thought about this, some of the things that I post about, which are funny for me, is that I'm always running out of gas. I look at my gas tank, God damn, that thing is always on E. And I always know I need to stop. Well, I want to go to that gas station because, hell, they pump it there for me. I don't remember the last time I've had to get out and pump gas. It was probably when I was ultra low on gas. So, you know, be unique. Have your little thing that you talk about, whether, you know, Pablo, his thing is tacos, you know, have that little thing, that little funny thing, because then you're going to find it so funny that people that follow you, when they see a post, they're going to tag you in it because they thought, oh God, she's always out of gas. I gotta send her that. Or, you know, Dobermans, you know, people see that, they get tagged in Doberman posts all the time. So that's another way, you know, that you're sharing your story and people are, you know, following you and finding who you are all about. I'm almost done. Yeah, so tears are words that need to be written. If it makes you cry, you need to find a way to share it. That's really hard. That is really, really hard. And because it's really touching that part of you that you may not want to share, because it does bring out that emotion, and you're going to have to talk about it, and you're going to have to relive or rehash things that are difficult. But again, that's you, and that's part of your story. So I think that's, you know, a useful thing to share. And another most important thing, and that's the last thing, is go live, guys. Go live on your page. You really, really, really need to do that. 5-second rule, 1, 2, 3, go. You know, you only get 3 seconds, but when that thing counts down to 3, you are talking, you are ready to go. That's a Chalene Johnson tip, and that's one that you really need to follow. Don't, when you go live, and I know this says, well, it does, it's sharing your stories. When the thing counts down, be ready to go. Start talking. Don't wait for somebody to hop on. Oh, I only have one person on. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to wait. You know, you have to just go on with your story. Forget that you're talking to an audience. You may have one person. You may have 50 people on watching you. Just share your story. And if you can do it live, do it. And we should challenge ourselves as a group. I guess I have in my like page is that I'm going live every day for the next 21 days while I do the reset. Why don't you try and go live every day or every other day? You know, make that commitment to yourself that you're going to try this to share your story. And that's a great thing, is that how many times have you actually gone on live and shared your story? Hi, I'm Leslie, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, so try that. You'll be surprised at the people that watch and get on. And, you know, live videos also get a lot more traction on Facebook. So I think that's it, guys. I shared my story.
Awesome, Leslie.
Way to go, Leslie. That was great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Do you mind repeating that one quote that you had shared about the tears, crying, sharing your story quote? I love that.
Wasn't it good?
That was so good. I also loved the when you're writing your story, don't let anyone else hold the pen. That was like, it's so true. It's so true with the whole comparison and trying to take other people's posts and things like that. It's not yours.
Yeah, and the comparison thing is so tough. And I think as new coaches, and we have quite a few new coaches, it's really hard. That can just break you down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't let that happen. You can't compare. So what I had said, one of my big suggestions is that, I'm friends with all of you, I think. But outside of us and our team, I am not friends with anybody. And I won't be friends with people out. If they're a Beachbody coach, I don't care if you're selling something else. Actually, I get a lot of humor out of some of the other stuff people are selling, but we don't sell, right? So, and that's the other thing I should have shared. When you share your story, you're not a salesperson, okay? We have tools that we supply people with. The only thing that you sell or you're giving to people is you and your time and, being compassionate and supportive, so that's what we do. So I try not to share when I'm sharing my story, I'm doing the ultimate reset. I don't say that I'm doing the ultimate reset. I've really pulled back from saying anything about that's Beachbody 21-day fix. I try not to share that at all. I'm doing a 21-day program, but I don't necessarily say I'm doing 21-day fix. Because I've learned that people will just Google it, and then it'll be somebody that's been following you, that's been on your radar, you've been talking, and then they'll go out and order it because they Googled it and they said, oh, and then they'll tell you, oh, I ordered this 2 months ago. And then of course it's too late to even get credit for the damn thing. So let me refocus. So back to that, Amanda, tears are words that need to be written. If it makes you cry, you need to find a way to share it. And I think if it makes you need to find a way to share.
Thank you.
There was, I don't even remember. Oh no, I know what it was. It was Super Saturday. At our Super Saturday event, Jessica Bowser Nelson.
Love her.
One of the quotes that just like completely stuck with me was she talked about sharing your story and having a vision and all of that. And she said, sometimes you just can't get your grasp on, what you really want. Like, what is your why? What is your vision? And the quote that stuck with me was, she said, pain pushes you until a vision pulls you.
Yes.
And I just thought that was such a powerful quote to just say, like, there's something going on in your life that has made you start to do the workout program, made you start to take care of yourself, take care of your health, whatever it is. And you may not know what your ultimate vision is of where you want to take your business, but the reason that you got started is going to push you. That pain point that you finally hit for yourself is going to be what pushes you in your business and in your own journey until you finally get to the point where you have that vision of what you want to go for. And that vision is pliable. Like, it can move and change with time. I know after 6 years, what I want today is very different than what I wanted when I started. Like, I was all about hitting ranks, doing, getting this achievement, that achievement. And like, now that's not on my radar. Like, I want to build a solid team. I want to have this sense of community. Like, the community is what I've found really matters to me. And in a call this week, I feel like all this stuff's like coming ahead for me all at one time. In a call this week with Mike Ryan on the FCN call, he said, hold on, let me pull up. I'm like going to start this like quote book. He said, we came for the push-ups, we stayed for the people. And I freaking loved that line. Again, just like another quote that somebody said that stuck with me. And, and I think for a lot of us, that's true, in why do we continue to stay in the business as coaches over time? There's peaks and valleys. Last year was a tough year. 2014, I had a great year as a coach. 2015 was solid. 2016 was awful. 2017 is kind of like following in the middle there. But what has made me stay is really the people.
when your business isn't going where you want it to go, why are you here? And so I think, again, kind of going back to what Leslie was saying tonight about sharing your story, we got to convey that. We have to convey that in our posts, in our message, in our story of what the community of Beachbody means to us. Yeah, we work out by ourselves in the morning. That doesn't look like fun, does it? When you like to go to the gym and be in a class and be around people, but they're missing the rest of this, and not getting, the piece that we check into the challenge groups. We go to Super Saturday events. We go to Coach Summit. We get on these weekly calls. That's what keeps us here.
Yeah. I love that quote from Jessica. That really was
yeah. What was it? Pain pushes you
until a vision pulls you.
Okay, until a vision. I missed that last part.
Yeah.
It was on my call with Dave the other day. That was it's just talking about my why, and it's like I hadn't really discovered that I actually had a new why, because when I started, it wasn't what it is now. Like change. We grow, and life around us changes. So of course,
Well, and I think it's important to go back, whether it's once a year, once every 6 months, whatever, and kind of reassess that, reassess where you are and what you want. And I'm going back through Marketing Impact Academy again. And, I didn't finish I got a good part through it the last time, and then I just got overwhelmed and I stopped. But now I feel more ready to do it again. And I started it again, and I'm going through, and it's really talking about branding yourself and all that. And I actually may do my call on that in a couple of weeks when it's my turn, to just kind of get people's wheels turning about themselves, because this is something I've really struggled with. And not that I'm mastering it, but I think I'm getting better with it, of finding your brand, like finding your people and really working to target that. But, kind of going back through this training again is really making me see, even just in this year, how things have changed, because I'm using the guidebook, everything I printed out last year, and I'm just kind of adding or, crossing out or whatever things. And a lot of it is the same, but there are little pieces, like a couple goals I set, like posting consistently on my like page, that I am doing, so I'm like, okay, like I got that down. Now I have to work on, being better with the content that I'm posting. I'm posting consistently. Now let's improve that content and really target that market and that brand. But, it does evolve and it does change. And, I think, like we were saying, that you have to reevaluate, like I said, maybe once a year, because your goals do change. Your life situation may change. You may decide that maybe the job that you like is just starting to completely suck, and you need to start making an exit strategy, or maybe you need more money, maybe your spouse lost their job, or, whatever, I've had situations change. That's why I even started working my business in the first place, because I wasn't getting raises at my job. And if I didn't get an additional income somewhere, I was going to have to pick up more days out of the house. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have that flexibility to be home with my kids. And, I've been able to do that, which is great. But again, it's like it's changing kind of again. So I have to keep finding for myself what drives me, and then what type of people do I want to connect with and pull into my tribe.
Awesome. Quick question, Leslie, just before we close out. And this is just more my curiosity, because you always come up with such great posts. Like, seriously, I look at them and I'm like, hey, like, how does she tell those stories so good? Like, so, do you like pre-write them? Do you just write them on the fly? Do you have them stored somewhere, like that you just tweak them? Like, what do you do?
Stuff is on the fly, unless I've pulled something back out from my notes, because I keep all my posts. So that's the other thing, guys. You have to recycle, because nobody could possibly keep up with this and still run our lives and families and all that stuff. So I always keep all my posts, or the great thing are the memories that come up. So I'll go back through if I didn't save it in my notes, and I'll recycle that story.
Yeah.
And then of course I do have to tweak, because it's a different time.
Yeah.
Things have changed. So yeah, we definitely tweak those stories.
One of the things that I started doing is as I'm doing my personal development and I find quotes in there that I really like or something that strikes me, I put it in the notes of my phone. And then when I do my workout picture in the morning, if I'm kind of like, I don't know what to say today, I'm pulling one of those quotes, either from something I listened to or something that I read, and using that. And that's been a big help, like especially because I got to get out of the house by 7:30 in the morning. And, I get up at 5 and it's like crunch time from the time I wake up till the time I get out the door. I don't have time to sit around like, oh, what am I going to post today? Like, I just can't. And it's too damn early for me to think because I haven't had coffee yet, to really think of something to post. So, that's helped me a lot. And just trying to come up with like more topics. So again, kind of going into that branding again, which I'll talk more about in a couple of weeks, but, okay, like what's in my life? Like my daughter's a tween. So this week I posted about like, okay, I don't know where to buy her clothes. Like we're kind of getting in this like in between stage, like, all right, tween moms, like help me out. Like, where are you shopping? And I attached an article that I found that had some suggestions for stores. And, so I want to try to do that maybe on Tuesdays now. I must do like a tween Tuesday and do something that's going to focus on that. But again, like kind of that's my people, like that's my market, the people that I'm going to relate to that we're kind of going through the same stuff. So, just for yourself, think about that too, and things that you might be able to post and that might help you with some of the content.
Yeah, I usually use, because I listen to my personal development in the morning. Again, I'm back on that pep talk, Tammy. So I do have to thank you again for that. But I do listen to that. And, you get some, little nuggets here and there of stuff that you can, like you said, add to your workout picture in the morning so you have that morning quote. Because I don't know if a lot of you do that, but that's always the way I like to start my day with, I always say good morning to everybody, have a nice little quote, something for them to think about through the day.
Yeah, people will start to like expect it from you.
They do.
Yeah, they're like, "Where was your morning quote?" Like I was looking for. I've had people say that to me. I'm like, "Oh, sorry," so they will.
It's so great to hear that.
Yeah.
So you're getting that feedback. And again, it's sometimes from somebody you didn't expect it to come from.
Or like if you always share a recipe or something on a certain day, then they'll always come and look for that recipe. Like I'm not good about that, but I know that some people are. And so if you just stick with like Tween Tuesday, they're going to come and they're going to want to. Yeah. Jen
the other thing
did like the coolest thing. Like I totally am stealing her idea. I'm going to text her and tell her, but on her like page, she is telling like the story of how her and her husband like met and like their journey, in like several different posts. But it's like every day you come back and you like, read the post of how they met, when they were dating, because it's leading up to her wedding.
And who is that?
Jen Thatcher.
Okay.
And she doesn't really post anything else. Like I think just right now, because she's so busy with planning her wedding. But I thought that was like, just genius. So you could do that. I'm going to use it like leading up to our anniversary. So.
Can I just ask something real quick of everybody? What do you think of the Clean Week thing, and how's everybody doing with that?
I'm just now getting started with it. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I'm just doing a group, this week. Actually, I stole Michelle's idea. Michelle, go ahead and tell them what you're doing.
Oh, I'm doing just like the coaches group this week because I figured it's going to be such a crunch to get people Shakeology in time on Monday. And I honestly just didn't want to deal with that. So I figured it would also give me a week to go through the plan, familiarize myself with it and even go through it. And so that's why I'm doing the coaches group for the week. And then I'm going to do a challengers group starting the following week, the 16th.
I love that.
And, I've actually had, I think 2 people order already. I think I have 5 people interested. I think 2 of them had Shakeology already. And I still have a list. Like what I did is I went through my Facebook page or my friends list and just wrote a huge list of names down of people that I thought might be interested, that maybe didn't want to do a long-term commitment, didn't want to do a HD Shakeology, whatever. And then I'm going to go through my customer list too. Like I have a huge customer list, just my customer base that I've built, and then the customer leads. So that will give me time to do that. I don't know if I'm going to get to do that this month, but I plan to run another group, between Halloween and Thanksgiving. I'll do another clean week. But the one thing I just wanted to add in there before anybody else jumps about Clean Week is for live videos, print the stuff from the Beachbody blog and use it as a live video. Like I did, what the heck was this one? I freaking use this all the time. It's snacks, like healthy do's and don'ts for healthy snacks. I printed that and I use that. I go live and talk about healthy snacks. And then like, I forget what this one was, but like I have all these things. Like this is like meal prep 101. So I can go live and talk about some meal prep 101 tips.
Oh, that's a genius idea.
Well, thank you very much. But like, you know, it's so easy.
Are you going live in your group or your
no. Well, I did I did the ones for the healthy eating do's and don'ts. I did that on, in my group, in my, my free group that I ran. And the people freaking loved it. And then I think I did it on my like page. But then I also did like some motivation. Like people are always like, how do you stay so motivated? Because they see me post my pictures every day of working out. Like, and I'm like, I'm not always motivated. You know, like I have to buy new workout clothes because and it excites me to get up out of bed in the morning because I want to wear my new stuff.
You and those dang yoga boxes.
Oh my God. I love the pants that I got yesterday. I was so excited. I freaking love them. The what?
If I do that, I'll get so much kickback from these people because I just went through my closet and Carly's like, how many pair of workout pants do you need, Mom?
Let me tell you something. And the other one I'm addicted to is Le Tote. Have you guys heard of Le Tote?
I've heard of it. I haven't used it.
It's like you rent clothes. Well, you rent clothes. And so they send you, well, they give you an idea, but you can go in and swap out. So say they put 5 pieces in and you're like, don't like that. You can go swap out whatever you don't like. Or say, maybe you have like something coming up this week. And so you want a specific outfit. So you're like, all right, I'm going to pick this outfit. You can wear it and send it back. And then they send you something new, a whole nother box, and you can do the same thing. You can wear it and send it back, or you can purchase it and it's like a fraction of the cost of the original cost.
Yeah.
Rent
the Runway is another.
I'll tell you what, it's really, I haven't done Rent the Runway, but this is like, I'm liking this one too. And then if you buy the whole box, you get your next month's subscription is free.
Oh,
interesting.
And you can do different levels, like 3 pieces, 5 pieces, you know, that kind of thing. So,
well, those are always great live videos too. I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I'll be doing a Le Tote tomorrow, so you guys can go on my page. My yoga club box was yesterday.
I love the yoga one.
Yeah, but don't do Le Tote. Like, use my code if you do Le Tote because you'll get a free box. It's a free box. Wow. If somebody uses the code I share, they get their first box free.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So look tomorrow. I'll post the code at the bottom. Anyway.
That's funny.
So anyway, so go. So Clean Week. Clean Week. I don't know. I'm not liking. I was just looking at the lunch things. I'm not liking the lunch choices, but I'll live. I really need to do this.
I noticed the breakfast looked extremely carb heavy too. Like,
I noticed that as well.
I was like, hold on, you want to eat strawberries and a banana and oatmeal?
But it's probably balanced because you're carb heavy at the beginning of the day and you're going to burn it by the end of the day. They're probably pulling the carbs out by the evening. So then you're kind of almost going in the keto overnight.
I did notice that too.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the dinners
yet. I would do anyway. It just seemed a little more.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how I'll do with this because I've added a little more carbs back in my diet and I feel so bloated.
Really?
Yep. Which is, gluten.
Isn't it amazing once you figure out what kind of works for your body?
Well, I felt really good like the beginning of the summer when I did Shalene's diet beta test.
To more on that.
I freaking felt great. And, and when I did the reset, which was no carbs. So, I just don't want to commit to doing the reset because I wanted to do Clean Week. And then Shalene's stuff is probably coming in like November. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to see. I'll see how Clean Week goes. If I'm still not feeling right, I might throw a reset in between.
Gotcha.
But I could just feel like I feel terrible right now. Absolutely terrible.
Oh, sorry.
So sorry. It's everybody's fault. Freaking hate it. No.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how you feel. It's like my weight has been. I mean, I probably gained. Like I gained weight since I finished Shalene's thing, but it's not like a ton. Like I shouldn't be feeling as bad as I feel.
Yeah.
But like I'm telling you, like man, I gained 5 pounds. I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's awful when you feel that because you can feel
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and you know it. And like I know my body well enough now, you know, to know how I should feel.
Yep.
That I don't have to feel the way that I'm feeling. But I can't figure out like, you know, what I'm doing so differently besides not doing intermittent fasting keto. You know, that's basically kind of what Shalene's plan was, sort of. But I don't want to go back to that right now.
Is it difficult?
It's
You
just,
know, it's hard. It's hard. The
With her
intermittent
work
fasting
probably.
is hard for me with my work schedule.
for me, intermittent fasting wasn't hard because I'm home all day.
Yeah.
So.
It's not hard on the days that I'm home. The days that I work, like today, I had patients 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1. And they're like 45-minute to hour treatments. So you don't have time to stop and eat in between.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to lunch and I realized I hadn't eaten my mid-morning snack. I ate breakfast at 8:30. And then I got to lunch. I realized I didn't eat my snack. It was like 1:45. And I was just getting to eat. So it's hard. And trying to do the reset because of all the timed stuff, and it takes you a freaking hour to eat those damn salads at lunch. Good God. I'm like, can I clock out for an hour? I gotta eat my salad.
You're chewing for like an hour.
So funny.
It's so true though, isn't it?
It's the hard step. It's the hard
Yeah.
step right
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
like, the microgreen salad is great and all, but like, God darn, like that's an hour.
now.
Can you block me an hour, please, for lunch?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What the hell's
I
wrong with
need to
you?
reset.
Oh, God. All right. I got to go to bed.
All right, you guys go to bed.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye
Leslie.
now.
That was great.
Yeah, thanks, Leslie.
Yeah, thanks, Leslie.